Okay, so I think everything's working. Everything seems to be working. Yep, everything seems to be working. Okay, so I realise that there's no one here at the moment, seemingly. But first things first, for those of you that might watch this when it's just left up on YouTube afterwards, if you can hear the rain and the wind and everything coming through, then I apologise. Just because I as I've sat down to do this, the heavens have opened. We've got thunder, we've got lightning, we've got pouring rain, and there seems to be all of a sudden a fair amount of traffic going up and down the road as well. So if you can hear all that, I apologise. But otherwise, as there is currently no one here, and I kind of expected that maybe there wouldn't be because I only managed to sort all of this out yesterday and throw it all up, so no one was really given much more than maybe a day if you were looking at YouTube, and probably about the last 15 minutes when looking at other places like Facebook and Twitter and whatever else. It's a case of, whilst if there are people that show up, then I will gladly have a conversation with you. I'll gladly come and have a chat and see what there is to talk about. If you've got questions, if you want to discuss life coaching or just shoot the shit, to be fair, because it's Friday afternoon, so why not? Then that's grand. But otherwise, you might just end up with me, a video of me sat here kind of making the occasional comment to you guys whilst I'm doing some paperwork. But as soon as someone turns up, if anyone turns up, then I will quite gladly have a conversation and see what is what. Now, hopefully, as far as I can tell, the live stream is up. It should be accessible via the live link. So just Man on the Silver Mountain, or youtube.com/Man on the Silver Mountain/live, or however it's formatted. Which hopefully is the link that you guys have found me through if you're coming from Facebook, or if you're coming from Twitter, on various other things. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just here for the moment, guys. I'm going to be quite happily taking questions, quite happily having a chat about anything. But whilst there are ultimately no people here, I'm probably just going to be getting on with some paperwork. If you've got something to say it in the chat. I'll respond. Simple, easy, straightforward, the way that live streams work. And I'm kind of hoping that the more I get used to doing these, just to put this down on record, the more that I get used to doing these, the more that I do them. Maybe if I do them every Friday or something like that, then we can start doing more of a Q&A thing, where if you've got something that has come up in a video, or if you've got something that has been bothering you that you would like some reflection and input on from a qualified coach, then I can pitch in and we can have that discussion between the chat and between me presenting, and then maybe you'll give me a topic to run off on, and I will just run with it and disappear off into the distance, giving you as much information as I possibly can. But obviously it is live, so I might miss stuff, I might get some things wrong, or I might not have the notes to hand that I would necessarily use otherwise, and so I might just talk my way around it until it crops up in my head. But hey ho, we'll see how it goes. I'm only going to be here probably for about an hour today, just saying this from the outset for any people that come along late and decide to start the stream from the very beginning and watch all the way through. Firstly, if you do that, that's awesome, thank you. But also, just saying that I probably, unless the thunder and lightning cut the power and I lose connection entirely, then I'm probably only going to be here till about 3 p.m. British summertime. Not that you would tell it's British summertime at the moment, looking out the window at the sea of angry grey in the sky. But there you go. So I'm going to get on with some stuff. I will keep an eye on chat. I will keep an eye on YouTube, and hopefully either some people will turn up and we can have a chat, or I'll just get some work done and you can watch me do it. Not watching what I'm necessarily doing, because some of the stuff that I'll be dealing with is some client and personal information that you guys can't see. But you'll be able to see my face as I scowl at the screen and read stuff. So, hey ho. I guess what I'm happiest about is just that this seems to be working. Like, if if I'd started the stream up and it had broken, or looking at YouTube, there's the little health monitor thing here that says that the stream health is fine. In fact, it says that stream health is excellent. If that wasn't showing up, if that wasn't turning up, then I'd be a little worried. Because if I was streaming a game, then fine, and I might do that at some point in the future as well, just to chill out and play something with you guys. Maybe something we can all play together, or something like that, or something where you guys can kind of have some input on what I'm doing. Who knows? I'll have to have a think about that. But it'd be fun and interesting to get this stuff going so that we can have more direct conversations. Because one of the things that I want to do at some point is throw out a survey to you guys, the 200 of you guys that have already subscribed to the channel, and to all the other people who only frequent the blog or only wait until they see something crop up on Facebook before they actually come and see what's going on the channel. To those of you that have sent me emails and things, I'm hoping that this is a way for us to have a bit more instantaneous communication, for me to get to know you guys maybe a little bit better. As I said, I've kind of wanted to do a survey or a questionnaire to kind of get into your heads a little bit more, but there has been lots of ups and downs of things doing that, so I've kind of got that half done, and so I'll get round to finishing that off at some point in the future. Now that we're over 200, I definitely feel like I need to get to know you guys, to know kind of not just what you guys would like to see, but also in regards to how I would like to put things together for you guys. Like, if the majority of you guys have turned up for the coaching stuff and that's what you found really useful, then fine, I want to see how much more of the coaching stuff I can do, and how I can spin it more into some of the other stuff that I've been working on, so that you guys can see it. If you're here for the gaming and the other stuff's kind of supplementary, then fine, maybe I'll look at doing more chilled out stuff in the evenings and other bits and pieces to pitch in and just have some fun with you guys. As I already mentioned a moment ago, playing a game with you guys where you guys can have a bit of input on whatever I'm doing in the game, maybe. And if you're here for the commentary stuff, then that's the stuff that I probably do the least on the channel. But if you're interested in my opinions, if you're interested in what I'm saying about the news and stuff like that, as and when I do, then that'd be great. That'd be perfect. You can come and have a discussion with me around whatever those current news stories are. So we'll have to kind of see what happens, I guess. But hey ho. Okay, so I'm going to get on with firstly clearing off some of my emails and things, which is fine, all cool and groovy. But then beyond that, I've got some other bits and pieces to do. It's like I've got some stuff in mind that I want to do with live streaming, that I want to do with some other stuff as well. But we'll have to kind of see how it all pans out, I guess. Just because it's gonna be interesting to see when you guys turn up, if you guys turn up, what you guys are interested in discussing, and everything else. Because what I'd love to, I probably wouldn't call it this, but having an Agony Aunt stream would be an interesting thing, where you guys can literally just, the problems that you're having right now, come, and I won't be able to give you a very detailed kind of look into it, because obviously I'm not right there with you. I'll only have a limited amount of time. There are going to be a numerous number of people in the chat potentially to have that discussion with. But obviously, if you're an early adopter and you come along to a stream early and all the rest of it, and you're just one of the first people to do so, then fine, we can have a chat about whatever issue it is that you're that you have, and we can go through it. Again, it's probably still not to the extent that I could with a client sat in front of me, as it were, but it's still something that we can go and take a look at. You know, have a discussion around. You know, maybe it provides you some extra ideas, some more clarity, some other things that would help out in the future. The only other thing that I'm a little uncertain of is when these go up as like the video on demand afterwards, the archive that YouTube creates and leaves on the channel. In regards to the test that I did yesterday, it still seemed to be showing up, even though it was supposed to be unlisted and private. But then I've not seemingly been able to tinker with it afterwards. So it's like I might end up with other videos doing the live stream and then not having the archive of it and just recording it at the same time and then re-uploading at a later date. But that might be too much hassle, depending on what's in the stream. You know, we'll have to see how that pans out overall. But we'll see how that comes to pass. Either way, Jesus. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there is a lot of thunder going on out there at the moment. But yeah, like for the time being, we will have to just see how it goes. But as I said, I'm kind of happy with the way that this is working at the moment. Like, it's working, it's stable, we're not dropping frames, we're not doing anything else. It's quite happily pumping out the video properly. It's all synced up. For a time, it was actually a bit of a problem because when I first started taking a look at live streaming and kind of trying to sort this stuff out and have these discussions with you guys and like how I could manage it with YouTube and OBS and the stuff that I'm using, for some reason it didn't seem to want to, like OBS and YouTube didn't want to play ball with each other, and it took me a while of like poking various settings, looking stuff up online, coming back, poking it some more before it actually worked. So I'm glad that even if no one actually shows up to this whilst it's running and it's just a video on demand type thing after the fact, I'm still kind of happy that that it's just functioning, because it means that then I can do more of this in the future. But you know, we'll have to see. But you know, we'll have to crack on with stuff. It's all very well and good. It's all fine. But it's just making sure that in the future, regardless of what I put together, it will work. That's my main concern, making sure that things function once I've done them. So it's like it's been one of the most annoying things that I've come across so far has been when I've put a video together, I've recorded it well, all the rest of it, I've played it back to myself just on from the file, it's been fine, I've uploaded it to YouTube and YouTube's butchered it and it's been shit, and it's become more juddery or it's become a little broken up, or whatever else. And I feel like at one point that was kind of to do with my internet connection, but because it was unstable at the time due to a fault that was being caused in our reception box, as it were. But then, like, more recently, yeah, there are a couple of games that I'm playing that are maybe more taxing on my PC because my PC does need an upgrade, and so they've come out maybe not as great as I would like. And I've been kind of tinkering and seeing what I can do to change that. But otherwise, it's kind of a case of going. It's all here. It's all fine. We'll handle it. So yeah. Okay. Right. Let's open that up. Okay. So we've got that and that. Okay. Okay. So unfortunately I can't get a thing that I need at the moment until we've finished live streaming without potentially breaking everything. That's fine. We'll I'll get to it after we've finished. But like one of the toughest things that, as I've said before in other videos, one of the toughest things is dealing with just talking to a camera by yourself. And at the moment, my thought process is that yes, I didn't expect many people, if any, to turn up to the live stream today, just because it was a short notice thing, and it's just going to be sat there for people to take a look at later, if they care to. But it's an interesting situation where you know that there's where I'm used to presenting in front of groups of people there right in front of me, but then doing it to a camera where there's no one behind the camera until you upload it online, whether you upload it online or not is kind of up in the air. You know, that's a slightly different situation where it's more fascinating and interesting to kind of go, yeah, well, I need to get over the sitting here by myself, just talking to myself, talking to you guys, but not actually talking to you guys, and then you guys is an undefined kind of quantity because or element, because it's a case of I don't know who you are, I don't know who this video is going to be seen by, I don't know if it's going to help, I don't know if it's not, and so on and so forth. But then when it comes to this, I'm talking to the camera because I know that this video will be a video later, even if it's a stream now. So there will be someone maybe that comes, takes a look at it, sees it, and appreciates what I'm saying, and then maybe goes, oh, well, I'll check in on this guy in the future when he has his next stream. But then also, it's weird because that thing that I was used to where it was I need to be presenting to people is now more relevant. But at the same time as it being more relevant, it's still a case of me basically talking to myself at the moment, because there's no one on the other end. So it's like giving a presentation to an empty room, where in the potential hope that the room might fill ethereally instead of anything else. So it's strange. It kind of plays with your head a little bit, this whole thing. But I'll admit the rain and the thunder and lightning is kind of distracting as well. I'm hoping that you guys aren't seeing the lightning kind of flash randomly in the video, but it's more rain and thunder, to be fair, although it seems to have eased off a little bit now, even though it's still noisy out there. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if this can grow into something else. Especially considering that you guys, the number of nice comments that I've gotten on coaching videos where you guys have come, watched the video and said thank you because it's made a difference to you, because it's maybe what you needed to hear, or that there were some things in there that were useful and helpful to you that you've been able to take away. You know, that's the kind of thing that I'm hoping that I can do with this, as and when either I'm able to sort it out further in advance so you guys know when it's coming and can turn up, or maybe I change the time around so that I do something, I let something run earlier in the day, and then instead of doing this earlier in the day, I do the evening kind of 5 o'clock time that I would usually upload as the live stream. I don't know. I'll have to, maybe that's something I can stick on the questionnaire actually, that I want to finish putting together. Let me note that down. Which time would you guys prefer? I mean, feel free to leave it in the chat or in comments or in whatever else as well, as and when you see this, if you see this at all. But I will add it to a questionnaire that I hope you guys will see in the not too distant future and be able to give me some info to work with. Because I realised that a lot of the guys that watch my videos from my analytics, it's like a lot of you guys are over in the States or a bit further afield. There's a chunk of you from the UK, there's a chunk of you from Europe, but the vast majority come from the US. And it's like trying to match in my times with when other people are uploading, or when I think, and from what I've come across, would probably be the best time to upload stuff, so that it's there for when you guys come to look for stuff. You know, I'm hoping that that's a thing that I can sort out some more. but having your direct input would be great. Like the one issue would be if the times that you guys are looking at or most favour are times that I just can't do, either because they would be in the middle of something else, or potentially when I'm needing sleep or something like that, as much as I don't need much sleep. It'd be something to work out with you guys, and it'd be nice to have that conversation about when you'd like to see this content as opposed to when I can do it, and just find that middle ground so that we can make something work. So we'll have to have a chat about that at some point in the future. But I'll say this, I am looking forward to the weekend. I imagine that many of you are also looking forward to the weekend, but Hannah's coming down, we've got a friend's birthday to go to, so it should be a nice chill weekend, and I hope you guys have one too, but I'll admit I am somewhat looking forward to it, considering that the last time I saw Hannah, when I was away from the channel for a bit, it was still crazily warm over here, and I was dying, because I don't do well in the heat. And so it was a case of, because it was crazily warm, it was kind of uncomfortable at times. Like, I pump out a lot of heat anyway, I'm a human radiator of a sort. And so it was kind of uncomfortable for just kind of cuddling and being close to each other. It was just too much. So I'll admit that I'm looking forward to, now that the temperature has dropped off a bit, being able to just chill out, cuddle up, watch a movie, something like that instead, without getting too warm and just feeling all uncomfortable. Yeah, that'll do. So let's save that. But like, we've got other things to look forward to, potentially, in regards to the weather, because it's supposed to be, like, most of Europe's been having this crazy heat, like hot spell, as it were, heat wave, and it's just been uncomfortable, like miserable. Like, I'm one of these people that I don't do brown unless I've already done all of the shades from pink through red. So I'll only turn brown after the sun's gone away, and it's just kind of uncomfortable. Like, stick me outside in the snow and the ice and all the rest of it with not much on, and yeah, I'll be a bit chilly, but I'll be fine. Stick me somewhere where it's above like 24, 25 degrees and I start to die. So when we've had at times temperatures here mid-30s over the last little bit, I've just been hiding. It's just been way too warm. But then like, I went to Spain a couple of times. At one point, the first time I went bright red, incredibly bad sunburn and all the rest of it, and that was with like decent sunscreen on and everything else, and my skin was just too sensitive because I'd never at that point been that far, well, that near to the equator, and that it was just still way too warm for me. Skin can take it. I burned up. The next time I went, though, it was a lot cooler in Spain the second time that I went, and I came back as pale as I ever had been. But it was a kind of weird experience having those two different ones. But then when I was with Hannah, we went swimming in an outdoor pool for an afternoon, for a couple of hours, I suppose, during an afternoon. And we were. I kept relatively covered up, apart from when we were in the water and all the rest of it. And we were, it was overcast on that day. That was one of the reasons why it was a good day for us to go. And yet, I was maybe properly exposed to the sun for all of about maybe 20 minutes. And yet I still ended up going pink down from like the back of my neck down over my shoulders. It's just like my body is not designed for the daylight world. It is a place, it is a thing that should live in the dark and the cold. But hey, I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure I won't. Well, I'm hoping that if there's another kind of heat wave post current rainy season, then I won't end up burning up. But we'll have to see. Oh. Hopefully I've got some other bits and pieces that I can get on and do. So, yeah. I can't remember if I've done what I thought I had. So I might have to... Oh dear. Oh, hello. We have someone actually watching. I'm not just talking to myself for a change. Hi. How's it going? Happy Friday to you. At the moment, I've just been sat here doing paperwork and chilling out. Oh, it's you. All right then. Fine. Thanks for showing up. I can't see who it is when someone shows up. All I can see is how many people are watching. So I've got no way of identifying people unless they say something. Not being rude. Just I've been sat here talking to myself to one extent or another for the last half hour, which is fine because it still goes up as the video archive afterwards. But and it means that anyone that comes back can see everything that I'm talking about. But yeah, it's interesting knowing that there should be people there to listen, or could be people there to listen, and then there aren't. So when I saw another person pop up, didn't realize it would be you. I thought you'd have other things to do. But hey ho. Oh, and she's gone. I don't know if she's gone because she's gone, or if she's gone because I'm just continuing to talk. Who knows? But are you still here? It tells me that you've already left. It's telling me that you've already gone. Okay, no, I quite happily have you around. I appreciate the company. But I think I might have made a mess of something that I need to fix. But trying to fix things might be difficult. But yeah, at least it seems to be working. Like, YouTube is telling me that it's all good and that the stream health is perfect. So whatever I did yesterday to poke around and make it actually function seems to have done good, as it were. But yeah, I think in the future I'll need to give more notice, as it were, on when the stream's going to be. I don't think a day when people aren't expecting it was enough for people to take note. So he's fine as long as it works. That's the one thing I'm still worried about, that something's just going to break. But hey ho. How's the weather been where you are, though? And I don't know if chat is visible for the post video. So that for those of you that aren't watching, Hannah, who you would have seen and heard in other videos, has turned up to say hi, because she is a lovely and supportive partner. Yeah, we had it raining earlier, and then it kind of cleared up for a little bit, and then the heavens opened. Like we've had thunder and lightning whilst I've been streaming. I've been trying to get on with some bits and pieces in the background whilst no one's been about. Yeah, like we had about 2 hours worth of it first thing this morning, of the rain, and then we've had, like, it's still raining a little bit at the moment, but we had probably about 20 minutes of heavy torrential rain, thunder, lightning, and all the rest of it. Probably calmed down maybe 10 minutes ago, something like that. It seems to be about 20 to 30 seconds. And that seems to be the... Like, if I went for ultra low latency, that seemed to be one of the things that caused it to have a panic attack the other day. So, like, I can go for low latency, which is what it's on at the moment, which seems to be about a 20 to 30 second delay. In fact, it might be slightly less than that watching my face here. It seems to be maybe 10 to 15 seconds. It could be. I don't know. But it's probably that I'm seeing a maybe 10 to 15 second delay in the video that I'm watching, but then you're watching a kind of mirror of the video that I'm putting in here, so you're probably maybe getting an extra few seconds attached to it. I can sit here in silence until the next message comes through, but I would imagine that the messages are coming through in real time whilst my responses are delayed by the latency of the stream. So well, yeah, because that's the whole point of this, isn't it? To be watched. So when I'm watching me and you're watching me, but I'm watching me from the other source that I'm causing, which is also me, which is all watching, and then you're watching something as well. So there's going to be a lot of watching. Okay. I mean, I'm not sat here with a stopwatch. So, you say, that's how long it took for you to reply to me. Sure. But at the same time, like that's the thing with streams anyway, isn't it? They are slightly behind. They're always going to be slightly behind. Even with ultra low latency. You feel like we should be what? Like here, on my screen, okay, so that's still relatively okay. Like, if you look at, I mean, I'm more than happy to let you do that. But it's again like the level of latency and so on is, it's fine. It's not disruptive in any meaningful way. Yeah, it would be an effort to actually sit there and work it all out, but it doesn't really matter. And maybe I will try experimenting with the ultra low latency option that YouTube has again at some point in the future. But like that's going to be a thing for another time, I think. Just because the ultra low latency. Where am I? I mean, I'm in the UK, in my office. Hello, Getu. Thanks for joining us. I'm not sure if you're a subscriber or if you're just turning up to see what's going on. I'm Seb. Nice to meet you. But yeah, we were just. Thanks, Hannah. But yeah, we were just discussing. We were just discussing the latency, considering Hannah's decided to show up whilst I was testing this out today. And it's apparently taking about 30 seconds for my comments to get through to, or for her comments to be responded to, as it were. But yeah, are you a subscriber of mine, or how have you found me today? I'll let you field that one, Hannah. mean, we're both from the UK, Getu. I'm from one side of London, Hannah's from the other side. Where are you from? Okay. I'm Seb, the person whose stream you're watching. I'm a life coach. That's what I do here on YouTube. So I'll do coaching videos and advice and other bits and pieces in some of my videos, and some of the rest of the time have some fun with some games and whatever else. I like to think so. I try, but yeah, I've been doing bits and pieces on YouTube for the last what year and a half ish. Just because I want to help as many people as possible, and sitting down with one client at a time, um, doesn't always help the most people possible. So throwing out some videos just with the stuff that I've been trained on, and the stuff that has helped other clients and things like that. It lets people who can't necessarily afford a life coach or access a coach kind of find what might be helpful to them. You know. Yeah, and then Hannah's my other half, who's been she's been in some of my videos before. I've helped her out with some of her blog stuff, and so yeah, she was nice enough to come and check in on me whilst I was just testing out this live stream. Either way, we've just got under 10 minutes, or just under 10 minutes of the stream left anyway, so. Yeah, hopefully next time I'll stick some more stuff up earlier. Like maybe if I schedule the stream at the beginning of the week on like a Monday, so that the card's there the whole time, and then like where there was more than one person in the chat just now, it became one person in the chat. The latency wasn't too bad. Two people in the chat, it became a little harder to have that straight conversation. So I'm going to have to tweak and see if I can get the ultra low latency to work properly. I don't know why it wouldn't work the other day, because it's just a thing on YouTube, but I'll have to see if I can get that working and not arguing with me, because then it can be more of a direct conversation. So yeah, either way, I feel this has been a successful experiment today. Yeah, like it's working. Yeah, please don't. That would be an awkward thing to have attached to a successful live streaming experiment. Especially considering the most I've done is say hello to you and compare latencies. Unless we're going to turn comparing latencies into something really euphemistic. But I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Unless you're talking about staying time. But even then, I don't think it would make a lot of sense. I don't know. I have to see. Yeah, I think it probably would be. Because I'm seeing a delay of only a few seconds between OBS and okay. But yeah, I'm seeing only a few seconds difference between OBS and YouTube. But then YouTube is on low latency, which seemingly isn't that low, compared to like no latency at all, and so you're getting an even more exaggerated delay than what I've got right here. I am shaking my leg. Are you seeing the? Oh yeah, no, I can see it now on my screen. Yeah. Okay, fine. No, not an earthquake. Thunderstorm, not an earthquake. But no, I've got to go sort out a few things after I've closed this down in a few minutes. Got some bits and pieces to literally underneath my desk. entirely caused by me. Very centralized earthquake. But yeah, I'll have to do some trial and error with the ultra low latency stuff in the future, and see how that pans out. But yeah, otherwise I'm happy with the way it turned out, even though we only had the one person show up for. I am a bigger tectonic issue than you think I am, Hannah. But yeah, either way, I think this has worked quite well to begin with, and I just need to kind of refine a few things, see if that ultra low latency thing can work, and then, well, maybe, but also it's like I need to check out some other times and things anyway, but also kind of I'd need to work that out and see how I can do it, and get this questionnaire put together for subscribers so that they can see kind of what I'm thinking, and they can give me feedback on it. That's the hope. I want to make this more of a conversation, more regularly and more readily than some of it has been up until this point. Yeah, like I thought the ultra low latency or the low latency would be enough, to be honest, because it only seems to be a few seconds between me and my screen, so it's but it seems to be more pronounced for you, and so I'm going to have to see if I can get the ultra low latency to twig without it just preventing stuff from showing up like it was the other day. But yeah, I can spend some time, like maybe the beginning of next week, maybe when I'm having to sort out those other bits and pieces for the beginning of next week. I think so, because when I turned that off and when I just went, do you know what, the low latency will be fine, that was when it started working. And then there were a few other things that I needed to tweak yesterday when you were helping me just see what was working. So I don't know exactly what was causing it. I don't have the know-how on that to say, but yeah, I should be able to sort it out. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits there. So for those that might be watching this as the archive afterwards, I hope you found this little insight into me talking to random people and my girlfriend and myself online. But otherwise, I'll leave it there. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this will become a more regular occurrence, and take care.